All right, we start off with the Standard now. Let's take a look at the local dailies. Cry for justice is the headline on the front page of the Standard this morning. Gen Z second anniversary. A looming showdown, they say. A faceless, digitally organized generation sparked a civic movement that peaked on June 25th, 2024, when protesters breached parliament during the anti-tax Gen Z uprising. The protests reshaped the political landscape and ushered in a new wave of youth-led activism, but they also turned violent amid widespread allegations of police brutality. 2 years on, the calls for systemic change have not faded. Youth groups, human rights organizations, the clergy and opposition leaders are still demanding justice and accountability from President William Ruto's administration. The Standard has captured this story on page 2 and on page 4. Gen Z demands justice and accountability, that investigate, arrest and prosecute all public officers and those who command responsibility for the killings, torture, enforced disappearances and other human rights violations. They also demand a public apology, that the government must issue a formal public apology for the killings and all other violations committed by state agents during the Gen Z protests.
Yeah, because the debate has been that they're just compensating, yet they're not. There's no justice.
Yeah.
There's a story we've done, and I think we'll be looking at it later, about how many cases the ODPP has dropped, and as far as this June 25th is concerned.
Yeah.
All the ones who are before court, I think there's only one case before court right now, still on. Imagine that. Yet,
Masaibu?
I'm not so sure. No, that one, the ODPP actually said they no longer have a case against that person. They can no longer identify or be certain that this was the officer who shot Masaibu.
That was the only case in court.
Well, we'll look at that story.
Yeah. National Remembrance, they want June 25th declared a national holiday and unveil a national monument to honor the Gen Z heroes. Access, participation and adequacy of compensation. They say that in addition to other reparative measures, victims and survivors must be meaningfully consulted on all elements of reparation, including restitution, restoration of dignity and livelihoods. Adequate, timely, realistic and transparent compensation. They say money cannot bring back lives, but it can help restore dignity and support livelihoods. Provide meaningful compensation to survivors and the families of those killed or missing. Guarantees of non-repetition. Make a clear commitment that never again will the police kill innocent Kenyans. Put in place concrete measures to end the killing of innocent citizens. All right, wanasema guarantees of non-repetition. I saw newspapers written today that this year 49, it is in one of the caricatures, that this year alone 49 people have been killed in protests. This year alone. Yeah, and Gen Zs are demanding for a guarantee of non-repetition of such incidences. This story is on page 2 and 4. Kingalia ndani, page 3, they talk about a defiler of girl. 7-year-old still free despite 30-year sentence. Justice remains unenforced nearly 3 years after a girl was defiled in Kwale, with a convict still at large, and his continued absence has raised questions about efforts to arrest him and prolong the family's anxiety. All right, and there's that image. His image is here. The only known image of Salim Said Kuza. He was sentenced to 30 years for defiling a 7-year-old in Kwale, but remains untraced. Well, things like this makes you question, because right now if the DCI and police wants to find you, they will find you.
They will definitely find you. But if they don't want to find you, they won't.
They won't find you. Like something like this now, honestly. Anyway, okay. Page 5, friction in EAC as Karua is deported from Uganda. We'll take a look at that in another newspaper. It has been mentioned on page 6. And DPP drops case linking officers to Indians' death. That's another story on page 11. Tuangalie back page. Matter Sports. For Mo Salah, better days are coming. Salah scored to help Egypt to first World Cup win. Former Liverpool star had made a slow start to the tournament. 92 years, Egypt have had to wait for a World Cup win. Yep, that is a World Cup news. That is the Standard.
All right, let's take a look at the People Daily because it's talking about one of the things that we'll be looking at today, and it's that action by members of the National Assembly dodging the voting for the Finance Bill. Finance Bill fallout, MPs risk rejection in 2027. So they say a political storm is gathering for 186 lawmakers who skipped the crucial budget vote, with critics warning their absence could haunt them at the ballot box. As public anger grows, some lawmakers are scrambling to explain why they missed a session many Kenyans view as a defining test of leadership, accountability, and duty to the people they serve. Now, you see, many Kenyans apparently are not even angry that some MPs voted yes. 122 MPs voted yes, 40 voted no. But they say that's okay, that's their job. Where are these 186 who should have voted, but they skipped, they dodged?
Yeah.
Walikuwa wapi? Sasa that's where the Kenyans are focusing on. You did not do your job. You go vote, whether it's yes or no.
Yeah.
What is your conviction? Do it. It's your job. After all, not all Kenyans either support or reject. Yeah. So you represent your people and go cast your vote. Or then 186 decided, sisi hatutafanya hiyo. And that's a story on page 4. Out of touch, they call it. That's the front page of the People Daily. Other quick highlights here. Power, the real reason Ruto's allies want another term in office. That's a story on page 6. And Kenya bleeds 600 billion shillings through stalled and poorly executed infrastructure projects. That's a story on page 13. But the big one, out of touch, 186 MPs, munakujiwa. Bure kabisa. People Daily.
Alright, tuangalie Taifa Leo sasa. Masaibu ya Karua Uganda wanaita udikteta. Martha Karua alizuiwa kuingia Uganda jana kumwakilisha kotini wakili wa Kiza BCJ. Arias Lukwago aliyekamatwa kwa amri ya mwanawe Rais Museveni Muhoozi mnamo mwaka 2024. Karua alipitia masaibu kama hayo alipoenda kumtetea BCJ kabla ya kufurushwa nchini Tanzania. Karua is really going through it, and there's huku kwa jirani, these are East African countries.
Remember, she was also deported from Tanzania.
Tanzania.
Yes.
Kwa mara nyingine kinara wa chama cha PLP afurushwa nchini Uganda alikoenda kuwakilisha wakili kotini. I think she said she realized she's been banned permanently from entering Uganda.
From Uganda. Ito Muhoozi Kairenu Gaba.
Vidokezo zaidi, Wakenya wengi hawajui wana ukimwi. Takriban Wakenya 1,300 walioambukizwa hawajapimwa hali zao wahatarisha maisha. Habari kamili katika ukurasa wa 3. Je, umejipima? Unajua kitambo kulikuwa na these adverts za HIV. I think they should come back. I'm trying to remember. Ile ilikuwa inatishia watu.
Jua hali yako. Je, unajua hali yako?
Sasa hiyo anasema mjui mko na ukimwi. Serikali kusaidia waathiriwa wa moto Gikomba. Moto uliozuka Jumapili usiku ulichoma biashara nyingi, mbali na kuua watu 2 na kujeruhi wengine 17. Interestingly, they've started rebuilding stalls in Gikomba. They never give up.
They never give up. Unachoma by the following day.
Yeah.
So if at all someone intended probably now to ensure that that place is enclosed, if you did not put a fence immediately after the fire, then if you did that, then we would know who was behind the fire. But they are very quick to rebuild. Within hours, they're back in business.
That your moto ilitokea, it's only that building, ile soko wanafaa kuingia ndani, that remained standing tall.
Oh, the new market.
Yeah, the new market.
Lakini uko in 6 months kutakuwa na new market hapo Gikomba.
Si ndio hiyo?
Hiyo bado iko?
Iko ina stand tall hapo.
Okay.
Alright, Juni tarehe 25 serikali yaonya upinzani. Kindiki na Mwaura wakanya wanasiasa kuingilia siku ya ukumbusho wa Gen Z on Thursday. Kule juu on the top strip, Orengo ataka Ruto asitie saini mswada wa fedha. Asema mswada huo ulipitishwa na wabunge wachache mno. There's nothing that can be done. He'll just sign it, most probably today.
There are only 162 members in the House.
Yes. Hey, this 13th parliament nyini. Uingereza pazuri, timu 3 za Afrika zikiingia dimbani hii leo. Masala ya World Cup pia imezungumziwa hapo katika ukurasa wa 13 wa gazeti la Taifa Leo.
All right, let's take a look at the Daily Nation. That same story that features prominently on the front page of Taifa Leo is also on the front page of Daily Nation, talking about Karua's ordeal at the hands of Ugandan agents. And we have an image there of a PLP party leader, Martha Karua, addressing journalists at JKIA yesterday upon her return from Uganda, which has declared her persona non grata at Entebbe International Airport. Yeah, that's a big story there. Other stories here, the main headline, puzzle over Ruto's cyber security unit. So the president has established the National Cyber Security Agency, which is packed with security chiefs through an order published in a special issue of the Kenya Gazette. But a seemingly routine executive action has sparked controversy. Yeah. Queries emerged about the procedure for parliamentary approval of the regulations anchoring the agency and its sweeping mandate. You know, Cyber Security Agency, na ile ingine ilikuwa inaitwa nini, ile watu wasitukanane kwa nini mitandaoni, ikipitishwa wakati huu around the same time that quite a number of young Kenyans were using social media to send messages, to attack politicians and to do all this, utajipata tabani. That story is on page 4 and 5. The agency mirrors a committee under the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Act. Yes. So now kuna computer misuse and cyber crimes, which by definition could encompass some of those things that people are doing in June 2024. And now the Cyber Security Agency is in place. Kazi yao ni nini? Kutafuta wale ambao wana misuse computer and cyber crimes. Yes. So chunga sana. Be very careful. So at a glance, the agency's functions include to manage the day-to-day operations of the National Cyber Security Operations Center, as well as to formulate and oversee the implementation of national cyber security agencies for adoption across the public and private sectors, not just the public. Principals trade blame over schools unrest. At least now this story is back on the pages. School heads are meeting for their annual conference. Now they say serikali is to blame. Serikali inasema walimu pia waangalie mashule yao kuna nini pale. Masuala ya afya hapa, 1 in 5 Kenyans living with HIV does not know it. I think you've talked about that. Yeah. Let's take a look at the inside pages to see what else is big here. Blood on the pulpit, mystery killings expose growing threat facing clergy. Yeah. Unsolved murders and politically linked disputes are exposing clerics to growing insecurity and deadly attacks. You know, viongozi wa makanisa, they used to be very safe. But now, they're no longer safe. Inasemekana donations, political affiliations, and personal connections are making some church leaders targets. Kwanza ile pesa mnapeleka kanisani, inaleta shida sana. Kwingineko, Karua ordeal, I think we've talked about that. IPOA says 3 out of 62 deaths in 2024 protests in court. 3. So there are 3 cases. Ahead of Thursday's Gen Z Memorial March, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority has confirmed that only 3 of the 62 deaths linked to the 2024 anti-finance bill protests have reached the courts nearly 2 years after the demonstrations. Hence the question, if at all the government has agreed or admitted culpability by agreeing to compensation, meaning you're admitting that yes, you are wrong, something happened. How come only 3 cases out of 62 deaths have gone to the courts? Who's failing who? Yeah, the government is paying people for enforced disappearance, for killings, for injuries, for all these things. Then where are the culprits? That's the question.
They're saying the remaining 46 cases are at various stages of investigation.
2 years later. 2 years later.
Yeah.
Anyway, your story of HIV, 1 in 5 Kenyans living with HIV unaware of status. That's a big one. And Ebola facility, Duale found in contempt and faces sentencing. Unaona ni kama utamshika.
We. Nakumbuka last year walimuita the Ruto blue-eyed.
Blue-eyed boy. Yeah. Blue-eyed boy.
Kabisa.
All right. Let's go to the back page. Matters 2026 FIFA World Cup. So they talk about Egypt. Coaches stand halftime pep talk lifts Pharaohs to new heights. Egypt fought back from a goal down on Monday to beat New Zealand 3-1 for their first World Cup victory. So yes, African teams continue to perform very well at the ongoing World Cup in US, Mexico and Canada, and the big one today, England versus Ghana. Nani wamepigwa sasa?
Senegal
wamepigwa, lakini usijali. Ghana could actually do it for us. I don't know.
Yeah, Africa.
Do you fancy Ghana against England?
Well, it's an African nation, and we are supporting Africans.
Apart from those that don't need us to support.
Yes. Hao watajisupport, watajisaidia wenyewe.
Ni kazi yao.
Hiyo. Yes, but we'll be supporting. Of course, England is also a big team.
Yes.
And there are other people who are supporting
England has a lot of Arsenal team players. So
yes.
I'm torn in between, but then again,
we'll support
Africa
both.
First.
Whoever wins, it's a win.
That's a Daily Nation this morning.
All right, Business Daily. Tanzania tycoon in fast gains on EAPC, that is East African Portland Cement and Bamburi buyouts. They say Portland net profit grew nearly fivefold to 5.53 billion shillings, and twin deals gave access to 31% combined market share. NSE adds 160 billion shillings on US-Iran ceasefire deal. On the ticker, state agencies pay 31 billion shillings pending bills. That is in the 9 months to March, helping ease cash flow woes that contractors are grappling with due to unpaid debt. And there's a story here about Spiro. It raises 7 billion shillings for electric bike production. Hawa ni kama huwa wako na pesa sana. Spiro.
Wale wanakaa kuna pesa.
Ni kama kuna pesa. All right, tuangalie Star rakaraka. TVET boom, entry hits 1.2 million shillings. Okay, ati shillings. Entry hits 1.2 million as help funds 823,000 students. Yeah, that since 2023, allocation has shot up to 113 billion shillings from 44 billion shillings. Why Mombasa is betting on bicycles to solve its future transport crisis is another story on page 11. Father sentenced to death for poisoning and stabbing 2 daughters aged 3 and 9. Kule juu zaidi, Kalonzo borrows from Obama's playbook in 2027 State House run. That's the Star. Today, fresh, independent and different, being a Tuesday, the Star is not for sale.
All right. Let's cross the border and start off in Uganda. In Uganda, we have the new vision today. HIV drug. Government gets 19,200 more doses. Hospitals report excessive demand for virus prevention injection. We've been talking about this vaccine that is taken after every 6 months. It's supposed to be in Kenya as well. I think Kenya was the first to roll it out. In Uganda, apparently the demand is very high.
Wow.
So the government is getting close to 20,000 more doses. It's supposed to be given to the most vulnerable demographics in as far as HIV infection is concerned. I do not know how much is in Kenya, but yes, you can see discussions around HIV on the front pages, including in Kenya today, where 1 in 5 people who have HIV do not know they do. Yeah. So a big story in Uganda. Chaotic scenes delay Lukwago bail ruling. And this is Lukwago, this is a lawyer that was to be represented by PLP party leader Martha Karua. So there were delays in his bail ruling. One of them is because his lawyer was declared persona non grata, Martha Karua, in Uganda. Tuvuke border tuingie Tanzania sasa, and we start off with the Citizen. Revealed top drivers of data consumption. So Tanzania's rapidly expanding internet population is fueling fierce competition among global social media platforms, with YouTube and TikTok emerging as the biggest beneficiaries in the race for users' attention, screen time, and data consumption, creating fresh opportunities for telecom operators. You do realize that Tanzanians are very busy online.
Online?
Maybe it's because on my page they keep appearing. I don't know how I ended up there, but I just keep seeing Tanzanians and I'm wondering, why am I seeing this content?
You liked one post and then they said, and kama unatutaka wewe.
Anyway, other stories, concert noise. Dar es Salaam residents suffering in silence. It's a special report and it was contained, it was on the front pages yesterday. That kuna kelele mingi sana from concerts in Dar es Salaam, bars and clubs and entertainment centers. Now the equivalent of NEMA there is hoping to crack down on such spaces. Watu hawalali Dar.
Hayo inaeleweka. We are supporting from hapa.
Acha, wamefika Mirema wakaona vile watu wanapiga dance.
Kwani Mirema bado ziko?
Mirema kulali. Watu walali. Gazeti la Mwananchi, mswada mpya balaa. ni ule wa marekebisho ya sheria ya fedha ya mwaka 2026 inayowezesha serikali kukopa benki kuu kwa muda wakati wa dharura. This is the equivalent of the finance bill. They're also discussing the finance bill in Tanzania. Na kuna mambo wandao wanasema kubaliani na kila kitu kama hapa tu Kenya. Hii ni sheria ya fedha mwaka huu. So hata wa finance bill unafikiria tu ninyi mko na finance bill hapa bure kabisa. Huko Chadema hakuna kulala, viongozi wagawana mikoa kuimarisha chama, agenda za Free Tundu Lissu, katiba mpya za shika kasi. Masuala ya chama cha upinzani kule Tanzania Chadema yazidi kunoga. Hii chama I think is the equivalent of ODM. It's a very big party. It's always on the front pages, but they never win elections. Ni kama chama kuu cha ODM.
Chunga sana.
Tutazungumzia chama cha ODM baadaye, kimemfurusha katibu mkuu Edwin Sifuna. Sijui kutaendelea aje. Sawa sawa. Magazeti ya humo nchini na pia ya kanda ya Afrika Mashariki. Let's come back home and take a look at the caricatures today. We start off with the one on the Daily Nation. And so the cartoonist in the Daily Nation is making fun or poking fun on African